Hello everyone, Richard here and welcome to devlog number 2 of my 2D pixel art game Patient Sower. In the first half of this week I focused on finishing and uploading devlog video number 1, and in the second half I worked on the mining nutrients feature that I mentioned in the previous video. On Monday, the 8th of June, I spent the morning and partly the afternoon working on the previous devlog video and created a rough outline for the next day. Until the rest of the day I focused on game development again and created all the needed sprites for the mining nutrients functionality. If you are new to the channel, in Patient Sower you need to survive on a barren island with harsh weather conditions. To bring back life you need to renaturate the island and create a symbiosis between the young flora and your needs while you grow and explore to find a way out. To let plants grow you need to give them a specific amount of nutrients, and to get these nutrients you can mine them from the sprites that I just created. On the left we have the soil tiles with the yellow sparks to mine the nitrate. It is generated by bacteria in the ground. The nitrate item is represented by the yellow triangle above the soil. The reddish rock in the middle has the phosphor appetites and you can mine the phosphor from it. All the way to the right we have the bluish rock with the potassium minerals and the salt soil to mine the potassium. And each rock has several stages, so when you mine it, it gets smaller and smaller. On Tuesday morning I went out for a quick 30-minute run. It was a bit rainy but nonetheless very nice. After a freshly brewed coffee, I spent the whole day until late in the evening working on devlog video number 1 and recorded all the necessary voice lines for the video. I really wanted to finish everything to be able to upload on the next day. For the video creation process in general, I set myself the goal to improve at least one thing every video to constantly improve. I heard this approach in a video from LGR and I liked this idea a lot, and the high quality LGR videos speak for themselves. Currently I still underestimate the time that I need to create a video. With the reflecting process I want to improve that. Especially the script and the voiceovers still take a lot of time at the moment. But I already noticed some improvements compared to the previous videos regarding editing and the recording routine during the day. So if you have some suggestions or want to give me some feedback, please let me know in the comments. I really appreciate that. It is 11 in the evening and I just finished the last video. So tomorrow I will polish a few things, but I'm nearly done. Just need to create a thumbnail for it. But I'm very happy that I could finish it today. So it was quite a lot of work. For the next one I plan to progress a little bit different. But yeah, that's it for today. So good night everyone. While I was working on it, I saw here in the road rash gameplay part that the blue opponent here was trying to hit me while he was in the air. So when I step between the frames you can see it over here. So very funny. So with that, thanks very much and good night everyone. After the long day yesterday, I started the Wednesday a bit more relaxed and went together with Natalie to a local gardening center in the morning to buy a few new plants and some bigger pots. This has been on a to-do list for quite some time now, and a few of our plants made some very good growing progress lately, and we definitely wanted to support that. The rest of the day I polished the video, created the thumbnail and uploaded everything. On Thursday morning I reviewed the last video creation process and made a few notes about things that I want to improve for the next video. After the lunch I could focus again on game development and started off with drawing a variety of different digging tools. For all pixel art drawings I use a program called PyxelEdit and a vacuum drawing tablet. PyxelEdit is specialized on creating pixel art. I put further details and links in the description of this video. The links to my equipment are affiliate links and I get a small commission if you use them, so thanks in advance. But now back to the digging tools. At the end I chose to use a stick for the first digging tool. I call it digging stick at the moment and I think it is something different and it makes sense as the first digging tool for a dry and hard ground. Another aspect is that it only requires basic resources to be crafted, so like wood and fiber that you will find early in the game. I also want to let some room for improvements so that the player can work towards better tools. So I probably will add a shovel later as a more advanced tool, which can be crafted with rarer resources like iron or harder wood, for example. An inspiration for the digging stick was a YouTube video that I found while I was doing some research for the digging animation. It is from a channel called Jungle Survival, link is in the description. With the help of this video I started to draw the first images for the digging animation. This animation is quite different compared to all previous ones, because in the other ones the player is more in a standing position and now we have a more squatting position. Until the end of the day I finished the first couple of sprites for the animation. After a fresh Friday morning coffee, so this week was definitely a coffee week, but I could make some use out of it at the weekend, so stay tuned until the end. I sat down and read 10 pages in each of these books. I try to keep up with this routine every morning. The books are in German and the one on the left is focused on design patterns and software development to improve my programming skills. The book on the right is a bit lighter and is about how to live a long, healthy and happy life. After the 20 pages I made a to-do list for the day, which is focused on finishing the digging animation, adding the nutrient rocks for phosphor and potassium into the game, and I also planned to implement the nutrient tiles and the digging into the game. First I focused on a digging animation. It took more time than I expected to get the body movement right without looking too robotic. While I was working on a digging animation, Natalie used the newly bought pots to repot some of our plants and the result was awesome. After finishing the digging animation I couldn't resist going outside to work the rest of the day on the balcony while enjoying the sunny and warm day. Until the end of the day I was able to implement the digging animation and added the phosphor and potassium rocks. But I stumbled up on a few problems. The first is that the tool collider is not aligned properly, so it hits also the neighbor rock. Currently I only use one collider object for the tools in Unity. For the animation I set the single keyframes for the collider to match the single frames. This was fine when I only had the stone celt, which is a simple X tool, but now with the different shaped tools it is not possible anymore. That means I need to add another game object with a collider for the digging stick. This should not be too hard and I fixed this probably at the weekend. The second problem is that the nutrient rocks can currently drop only one type of item, but I want that they can drop multiple items like rock items and the respective nutrient. This has something to do with the way I set all the parameters for the plants and resources in the game. I store the parameters in tables and export them to CSV files. In Unity I have written a custom C# class which parses the data from CSV files into the fields of the scriptable object, which is basically a predefined class for the respective plant or resource. It holds the sprites, the information of the dropped items and for example how many hits of a tool it needs. You can see an example right here. It is from a previous state, but the basic idea is the same. The idea is that I can assign everything to the scriptable object with a single button press in Unity. With the new nutrients rocks, there is probably a case in the parser that I don't handle correctly. One thing that I couldn't get done at the day was working on the nutrient soil tiles, but this is more complex than I thought and I will focus on this in the next week. Overall I worked on a digging animation, on the nutrient rocks for phosphor and potassium and on the digging, and I was quite happy with the result of the day. On Saturday I reported the missing plants and I could make some use out of my milled coffee from the week, because one of them is the sundew, which can catch flies with its sticky leaves, and it likes sour grounds, which the coffee can provide. And the others are rosemary seedlings that we grew from an existing plant. So I had some training with relocating seedlings for the coming tasks of next week. The rest of the day I worked on fixing the problems with the CSV parser. Sunday was half the day very rainy, which created a nice atmosphere for fixing my code. And I was really happy that I could fix the problem with the CSV parser and the problem with the tool collider, besides one or two other problems that occurred during the process. That's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. In the next week I want to focus on polishing a bit the digging animation, because currently the player looks a little bit too large. Then I want to focus on mining nutrients from the nitrate and potassium soil, and I want to implement that we can dig up seedlings to relocate them to more protected areas, for example. If you have some questions, want to give some feedback, or for anything else, don't hesitate to write a comment. I highly appreciate that. Currently I upload about one video every 2 weeks, and I want to improve towards one video per week. In the meantime, you can check out some of my other videos if you like, for example the previous devlog video if you have not watched it yet, or maybe a video where I talk about the evolution of Patient Sower. You can also follow me on Twitter for some in-between updates every now and then during the week. If you enjoyed the video, a like or subscription would help me a lot. Thanks again, all the best to you guys, stay safe, and I see you on the next video. Goodbye!